Men marry women that they don't love often.
Men do not love you. Okay? So stop thinking that they do. They tolerate you. They lust you.
And so, and this is the reason why a lot of men end up marrying somebody who's a maid but not a friend.
Bro, I'm gonna throw some your way, and I want you to answer that.
This is the reason why she's washing your clothes. She's doing everything that you want her to do, but you don't want to talk to her. She easily irritates you because you don't even like her.
That's what I want to get to. Thank you for going there.
You don't even like her.
Bro, I've talked to several married men who told me that they don't like their wives. I asked them, well, are you at least friends with your wife? They're like, friends?
I bet they do. I bet they do everything for them, though. They do everything for them, though.
Can I say something?
You make enough money to marry a maid. I mean, to hire a maid. I mean, and then marry a friend, right?
Wow.
If you want, if that's what you want, and so what you really want is somebody to cater to your egos,
your brokenness,
Yeah. Because you didn't get that to Jesus.
Woo. Go ahead, go sis.
Can I say something? I have thought it a bit interesting that it does seem like some men enjoy men more than they enjoy women, but they marry women because they're supposed to, but their affections, their time, their energy, their vulnerability is giving space for men more than so.
Number of men who marry women who's just around or stayed by their side or was the rebound because the woman they really wanted broke it off with them is astounding. You'd be surprised how many casual conversations I would have with men who are doing work for me and I learn that they're married, and I would ask a question like, hey, what was it about your wife that says, yep, that's the woman you want to marry? Oh, she cooks, she cleans, she's a good mother. But what was it about your wife that says, yeah, she's the one? Oh, she held me down for like 10, 15 years. Oh, how long have you been with your wife? Oh, I've been with her for 20, but we've been married for 5. Oh, okay. That's like very simple questions like, what's your wife's favorite color? I don't know. But you've been with your wife for 20 years. What you mean you don't know what her favorite color is? Or, what's her zodiac sign? I don't know. When's her birthday? Mind you, there's no particular type of man that I'm talking to. It's like the cable guy, the plumber, the electrician, the painter, whoever. So like if they're hired for a service and a tech comes out to do something either at my studio or at my house, just have conversations, just to kind of shoot the shit, kill time or whatever. And it's very consistent. I worked with this one guy who had been married to his wife for 21 years, and he does not like her. Does not like her at all. I asked her, so why'd you marry her? She was a rebound. Because the girl of his dream left him, and instead of taking the time out to process that pain and process that breakup, he married her. Wow. The main reason why he married her, outside of being a rebound, was because being married looked good for his career. When I was in the Army, the amount of shit that my coworkers used to talk about regarding their spouses, baby, I got 20 years worth of stories on how a lot of these dudes, the only reason why they got married was for the benefits, because you get paid more when you're married, or because it looked good on paper. For a man, it looks good that he's married. So when I see women, especially black women, who are like, I'm married and you're just bitter, I'm like, baby, I know more about your marriage and the inner workings of your marriage than you think. There's details and intimate things about you that I know because your husband runs his mouth at work.
Why don't he understand how much I love him? Because men do not love like women. And that's the first thing you need to understand. Men do not love like women, okay? And they can't. It is impossible for a man to understand how much you love them. It is impossible. Because women love men like they do children, and that is pure love. Men cannot do that for you, okay? They cannot. So they can't understand. They can't feel what you feel. Women are created different. They have a certain thing inside of them that loves unconditionally, hard, and to the point of destruction. Have you ever seen a man love a woman to the point of his own destruction? It's very rare. But how many times do you see a woman love a man to the point of her destruction? Y'all need to stop. Save that love for your kids. He's never going to understand you. That's why I always say, find a man who loves you more than you love him. And then you'll be almost equal. Okay? Almost.
Men do not always marry the woman they're in love with. Men will marry a woman who is with them when they get ready to settle down.
And this is the reason why a lot of men end up marrying somebody who's a maid.
I know not everybody's going to agree with my opinion on this, but what's new, right? I have a lot of friends who are happily married and happy relationships where their wives or girlfriends are doing all these things for them, going above and beyond for them, but they don't even like them. They don't even like them. Why? Because they never liked them in the first place, right? Men literally like their friends more than they like their girlfriends or their wives. Meanwhile, they're telling you that, oh, I need somebody who's going to be nurturing, loving, caring, you know, do your laundry and cook and all that stuff. You don't even like the person. Why are you faking it when you don't even like the person? That is the reason why I say don't marry the person that you love, because you're going to be so blind by this love that you will not be doing, you will basically be doing everything going above and beyond for this person the whole time this person doesn't like you. They're just there because they settle once they feel like, okay, well, all my friends are getting married, so I have to get married, or I'm being pressured to get married, so I'm going to get married. So you're here, you're good enough, we're getting married. Or you're here, you're doing my laundry, you're washing my clothes, you're cooking for me, so we're getting married. But they don't really like you for real, as a person. As a matter of fact, they'll prefer if you don't talk. If you don't talk and all you do is just give him sex and cook and clean and all that stuff, that's even better, right? And on top of that, they're talking to their homeboys about you. That is the reason why you have to get into relationships already knowing what you want out of this relationship, because otherwise you're going to be abused, mistreated in this relationship, and you will get nothing in return. And once you get out of the relationship, you're going to feel like you lost so much because you've given so much. And that person only been taking from you. So yeah, of course you're going to feel like you're drained and all that stuff. But if you went into the relationship expecting more and not giving so much, then you won't feel like you're drained and taken advantage of. That's one of the reasons why a lot of men, whenever they in a relationship, they don't feel as hurt or as like, you know, in a funk like the women do, because they don't give as much as we do. They never do. Most men are not capable of love. Most men are just not capable of love. I don't care what you say. You might think like your man loves the ground that you walk on, but most men are just not capable of love. And that's just something that I've always known. So that is the reason why I approach relationships the way that I do, because I always know that most men are just not capable of love. That's just what it is. So you take what you need to out of the relationship. And yeah. Everybody always say, oh, you know, it's a partner thing. It's never a partner thing, please. Especially when it comes to you as a woman in a relationship, it's never a partner thing. It's never 50-50. You always put out more than they do, and you always do more than they do. It's just never a partnership. So bite me, okay?
Let me get this mic so y'all can see. Men do not love you. Okay? So stop thinking that they do. They tolerate you. They lust you. That's it. If they're your family member that is related to you, that is a whole different type of love. But I'm speaking about relationship wise. Okay. So never do anything based on thinking that he loves you. Only do it based on your best interest. Only do something based on your benefit. Don't do it, oh, but he loves me. Don't do it for that reason, because you're going to get fooled every single time. So love is not words. Love is action.
Is it true that when men are ready to marry or commit, they just go for whomever they are with at the moment and not necessarily who they love? Now, I'll tell you something about male commitment, okay? You have two different types of men, and this pretty much encompasses everybody that I've ever met. A man will commit to a woman if they share all of the same goals, virtues, values, and morals, okay? If they have fun together, if they find the same things fun, the extracurriculars, if they enjoy travel, anything that they enjoy together. Those are the ones that we perceive as perfect matches, okay? But then you have another type of man that will commit regardless of length of time with you. He will commit to you if he feels as though long-term you will not hold him accountable. Okay, now what I mean by that is he knows that you will remain a constant at home while he still goes out with minimal risk and does everything he wants to do with no accountability. He has the safe net, okay? You are the safety net at home. Knowing that you're a constant, knowing that he has a caretaker, so to speak, and he can still go out here. So what I can tell you is, regardless of how long you've been with someone, if you guys have a lot of different virtues and values, if you do not see eye to eye on most anything, if you enjoy doing completely opposite things, at some point, you are going to be faced with a decision, okay? You're going to be faced with, is this man with me because I am easy for him, or is he with me because he loves me? Because it's one or the other.
Do you feel like most men get married out of convenience?
I think a lot of men do. I wouldn't say most. I feel like a lot of guys do get married out of pressure. Like they've been with their girl for a while. They know they're going to stay with her. Not that they the happiest, but they might have kids with her. It might be their comfort zone, and she pressing them like, it's been 7 years, it's been 10 years, it's been 12 years. A lot of dudes get pressured into it. It's not what they want to do.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be a very weak-minded individual to get pressured into marriage. I'm sorry. But I feel like if someone is with you and maybe you love them, but you don't want to marry them, then break up with them. Don't marry them.
Hi, this is your main man, Don Theo Brown. Always talking a little jive, always bring you right back to the right vibe. When a man decides to get married, it's not about who is in his life. It's about when the right time for him. He doesn't decide because he is with somebody that he adores and wants to be with. He decides within himself that it's time. It's time to put away all the games. It's time to put away the things that he did. The worst thing that could ever happen to somebody is that they're in pain. But even more is the fact that you caused that pain to somebody that you care about. Those are some of the things that lead men to decide it's time to get married. And it's not about who, it's about when. He can come to you and say, hey, listen, can we get beyond those things that really happened to us back in the day? I apologize profusely. Can we move forward? And if it's impossible for us to do so, he knows what he has to do. And it's about when, the time for him to get married. See, all the experience that we've had in our lives, all it does is build us to a better us, a better you, a better time for us to figure out now it's time to really get serious about this whole journey and make it happen. So if the man hasn't decided to marry you, and if he's trying to talk to you about, let's make this thing happen, let's put behind the things that don't really matter, and you can't put behind those things, he will decide once he's ready to get married. And it's not about who, it's about when. This your main man. Don't be around. Always talking a little jive. Always bring you right back to the right vibe. My business is love and happiness, and my business has been quite good. Until then, hey, right now, and love you later. Thank you.
What a lot of men won't tell you is that they care a lot about what their family and friends think of their partner. So instead of doing what would genuinely make him happy, they do what is going to impress other people, only to cheat on that woman with the woman that they would really like to marry. Then they'll be married for a while, complain about being miserable because they're not really attracted to that woman. She's boring. They don't have anything in common. They have 2 different sex drives. This myriad, this laundry list of things that he knew good and well going into that marriage and could have avoided if he had just married the woman that he loved.
Men marry the woman in front of them at the time they are ready.
Oh my God, I've been saying this forever. I call it their path. Just how women have timelines for when they want to have kids and when they want to get married, so do men, okay? Because the man is the person that proposes, a man will be in a relationship, let's say for 5 years. Let's say that relationship ends, okay? Let's say at the end of that relationship, he's like 34. He feels like he's wasted all of his 20s. The next relationship that he's going to get into, he's going to push marriage because that's the path that he was on with the girl he just broke up with. A lot of men are not marrying the woman that they love. They're marrying the woman that happens to be conveniently placed at the time that they are ready to get married. I was on Hinge a couple of days ago, and this guy was talking about he wanted kids and he wanted married. He also said within the same breath that his relationship just ended. So I knew for a fact he was going to marry anybody that he was dating because that's where he was at. If you don't realize this, you will marry the wrong person.
Men marry women that they don't love often. We talk about this so much thanks to this app. It's more aware now. And I remember seeing this viral video of this older man, and his message was to younger men, telling them, do not marry the woman that you want. Instead, marry the woman that wants you. Because the woman that wants you is going to be more committed to you. She's going to want to stay with you more. And rather than the woman that you want, because the woman that you want likely doesn't want you back the same way. And just hearing that, it's like, that's not fair. That you're being with a woman, taking advantage of her. Because unless you tell her to her face saying, I'm actually in love with you the way that you are with me. I actually want this other woman, but she doesn't like me back, so I'm just settling for you. If you don't say that to her face, that's manipulation. That's taking advantage of her. And so much of the time, men are projecting exactly what they do to women. They'll project that and saying that that's what women do. When that's how their brains work. Because if they were in the same position, they're like, they would do that.
Marriage is not for love. Marriage is not for love. It has never been for love. It's for properties, elevating your family, your future kids. You know, it's not for love. You can grow to love that person. You can eventually learn to love that person, but marriage is not for love. Why is everybody getting married for love and then wonder why everybody's getting a divorce? Every 3.5 seconds, everybody's getting a divorce. Marriage was never meant for love. It was always meant for you to elevate each other. Even in other countries, they're still getting married for status and, you know, all of that stuff. Marriage have never been for love. You might just so happen to meet somebody that you're getting married to and you just so happen to like that person, but marriage was never meant for love. That's why you have to sign a contract. That's why you have to sign a contract like
I get a lot of compliments from men on a daily basis. They find things.
Do not ever marry a man who's looking for a wife type, okay? Never, 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 never in your whole freaking life. You know why? Because he's looking for his mother, okay? Long before a woman becomes a mother, she's a woman. And usually what attracts daddy to mommy has nothing to do with her being a wife. It ain't got crap to do with it. But these men are so immature, they somehow picture that mommy was born mommy. No, mommy was born mommy. Mommy had a whole freaking life before she met daddy. She's a grown woman with interests of her own, a life of her own. And these clowns actually believe that, I want a woman like my mom. You don't know who your mother was before she met your father? She might not even know how to cook or clean. She might have been the party girl hanging out, doing all kinds of stuff, and he still fell in love with her. So when you meet these clowns who tell you, I want a woman like mommy. Baby, run. Because they're looking to fulfill a childhood fantasy. They are not grown men, okay? Grown men looking for grown-ass women. They looking for women that, hey, let's get together. You my kind of woman. And it's that no man says, I'm looking for mommy. Okay, that not a normal man who is normally developing is looking for his mother. I don't care what nobody says, okay? That is not what a normal man looks for. He looks for his mate, not a mother, okay? He might think, oh, she might make a good mother, but baby, there's a lot of women who started marriage, can't cook, can't clean, can't wash a dish, baby, don't know how to do laundry, ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Sit up and do their nails. They remind you of a Peg Bundy, and he still married. He whining and crying, but he still married her, didn't he? Because that's his kind of woman. When men say, I'm looking for a wife, baby, run. Run. Please, for the love of God, run. Because these jokers are looking for a workhorse. They're not looking for a woman. They're looking for a worker. So they come do they want somebody to play the role of mommy in their life. And baby, don't let that be you, okay? You want to be the hot mama that they are running down. That's who you want to be. Oh, I gotta go get her. God dang. I want her. See, that's what you want. If he's going, you're not wifey material. You're not mommy. Then F him. Let him go find wifey material. That's the girl that's going to do all the work for him while he's still chasing after his dream girl. Tell me I'm wrong.